Hello and welcome to another episode of my Working with Todoist series. My name is Pullein and today I want to show you how to take an overwhelming today view and turn it into something a lot better organized and much more inspiring. Now this has come about because I do see a lot of people's Todoist. It's part of the work that I do every day. And I see that people have way too long today lists, which just becomes demotivating, overwhelming, and doesn't help you to start the day with any sense of direction. So I want to change that for you this week by showing you a few things that you can do with filters and labels and the sorting view, the new sorting view. Now, before we go any further, I would just like to say if you do get any value from this video, then please help me by clicking on that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and you want to get all the latest tips, tricks and news on using Todoist, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's go into my demo account now and let me show you how you can turn your overwhelming list into something a lot better. Okay, what I want to do in this video is to show you a few ways that you can turn an overwhelming today list like this into something more palatable, something a little less overwhelming, and perhaps a little more inspiring. Now, over the last year or so, Todoist have been doing some amazing things that can help us here. One of which is actually to use the view so we can turn this and group this by certain things. Now, at the moment, I have nothing set up here, so it's not really going to help. I could actually organize this by project, group by project, and it does a pretty good job, but it doesn't actually, it doesn't really organize things. So this, because of the way that I do my projects, I've got this week here, and then I've got my routines down there. That's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through a number of things that we can do to change this. Now, the first one is to use labels. Now, I'm not a label user as such, but one of the things that we can do is to create labels between our personal life and our work life. So what I can do is go down here. Now, chase up on kitchen units, that's a personal task. And what I'm doing, by the way, as I'm hitting Command or Option and then click, this will actually bring up the menu bar at the top, and I can now select tasks. So there's a schedule next week's exercise plan, call parents. As I go down here, I'm looking, that's a personal, and go down here, take Louis for his haircut, clean the garbage from the office, call to make the appointment, wash the car, and clear bins. I've got that quite a few times, but this is my demo account. So what we're now going to do is we're going to labels, and I'm going to add a label called personal. Now, as I say, I don't have any labels, so I'm going to create that. Now, once you've created the personal label, now I have a way of filtering things out. So again, look at this today. It's looking very, very busy. But what I can do is now remove the personal by adding a filter. So let's go into filter, and I'm going to add a new filter, and I'm going to do not personal. And now my filter query is today and not, which is the exclamation mark, at, and then personal. So personal. And that's all I need. When I add that filter, there you go. Now what's happened is I've removed. So we go back into here and I can see all my tasks. If I go into my filter labels and hit personal, where are you? Not personal, hit that, and it's going to take out all the personal tasks. So when I go back into there, what I can do now is I can actually hit and add that to my favorites, which is right there. So let's go into this now. And I've got all my tasks for today right there, but I'm at work. I don't want to see my personal tasks. So I just hit that, not personal. And there you go. I just have my work tasks. Now, here's the thing. Now, you might want to think, well, all I can do now is add why not just add personal and work? Good point. But The reason why is quite simply because now you're actually adding an additional step to probably where most of your tasks come from. Now, as it happens, I've got 18 tasks for today and 9 of them are personal, so it's 50-50. But in the real world, that's unlikely to happen. We don't usually have as many personal tasks as we do business tasks. So you don't want to be creating views where you're going to miss a task. I want to see everything related to work because most of the tasks that I'm putting into Todoist are going to be work related. I don't want to be adding that additional step of adding a label because that's just something else I have to remember to do. This is my catch-all. This means that any work commitment isn't going to have a label, so it's always going to show up into today. If I just have one accident where I'm not concentrating and I don't add the work label, that is going to disappear maybe from a view that I want. So not personal is a better way of doing it. Alternatively, you could actually call that work because it's not personal. It's up to you. That's just what I wanted to call it. So that's one way of being able to filter down a list, and now I'm at work. Next up is to use the flags now, and that is to use the view here. So we're going to use the flags, and I'm going to go, what you have to do is to go through these. So let's go back into not personal because it's just an easier list to work from. So this, let's say, is probably the most important task for me today. So I'm going to make sure that's an objective task. I'm going to call that red. I'm recording the YouTube videos. Yes, definitely an objective task. Now, in my personal case, I will only ever have 2 objective tasks, 2 red flags, because I've learned from experience that adding more dilutes my focus, and quite often the third one never gets done, and then I'm reprioritizing within these 2. In here, it's really now simple. I've got 2. I could do one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I could do some in the evening, but these are where I am going to be. Now, it's true that it's possible that some of your personal tasks will be doing this. I'm just trying to make my life a little bit easier. Next up is using the flag. What can I do this morning? Well, I need to write the newsletter, so I'm going to do that this morning. And let's have a look down here. Oh, that needs to be done this morning as well while I'm writing. So I'm going to be doing a block of writing here. Notice I'm using the verbs here. So write. So record, write, write. So have I got any other written tasks? No. Now, what can I do in the afternoon? Well, I want to clear that because I don't want that hanging over. And that can be clean the windows in the office. That actually would be a personal task. So let's just open up that. I'm going to add the label personal, and then I can come out, and that's going to remove. So actually, I've got more personal than work. Actually, good life. And that's really about it. Now, once you've got your flags in there, and again, I don't want to be flagging too many things, but once you've got your flags in there, now I can use the group by, and I'm going to group by priority. And this is great now because now I have my tasks for work set up in a beautifully organized way that I can see. Now, personally, I like to see it as a list. If you prefer to see this as a group, then as a board, then you need to go into the project. I'm afraid you can't change around the projects or labels. Sorry, you can't change around labels or filters into the board. So that's something you just have to keep in mind. So that's one way of getting a list down to something a little more manageable. I could go into here and now go to today's focus, and my filter query for today's focus. Let's go into today's focus. My filter query for today's focus is simply today and not P4. That's again because I don't want to see the P4 task. That's for the evening. I want to try and make this list less overwhelming and more enticing. Right, this is where my focus is for today. These must happen. These are for the morning and these are for the afternoon. So I've grouped my writing tasks together, and then I've got afternoon tasks. Notice here that if you look at these kind of tasks, there's still plenty of space to deal with the emergencies that my boss might throw at me, my clients might throw at me. These are the things that I must do. If you're trying to do everything in one day, like go back to here, that's just overwhelming. And some of them, like here, call parents, I might think, oh, I just don't have time today. I'm going to do tomorrow. But I don't need to see that or even make that decision until I finish work. So I want to clear that out so I can just go into here and now I see just my work task. Once I'm finished for the day, I can now get into my personal tasks. And easy enough to do that now is if you type personal at the top here. I've got to be able to spell personal. And I can now go straight to the label. And it's going to show me the tasks that I have here. Now, again, if you want to see today's personal task, you can just create a filter for that. So you could just create, let's go into here, let's create a filter for that and say today's personal tasks. And I'm just going to go today and then at personal. Yes, spelled that right. And click that. And that's just going to show me the tasks that are scheduled for today, Friday, at our personal. Today's personal tax. Let's get that one right. But you get the idea here where you can now change this to whatever you actually want it to be. So again, if I wanted to, I can now add that to favorites, and that's up at the top there. If you want to change that so again, we can now change this and call this today's work. So let's go today's work and add that. And then let's just move these around. Can we move these around? Oh, isn't that a shame? Todoist aren't going to let us move it around. Don't know why. Well, what we can do, if you really want to move those around, you may have to just do some. Let's just have a look. Can we? No, we can't. But anyway, you get the idea. Now we've got these added to our favorites. So when I start the day, I can go in, okay, what's my work task today? Like I say, you don't want to be labeling work tasks because that's how things slip through the cracks. You have to remember every time to add that label. It's better to do something on the personal task. Just add the task, the tag personal there, because as you can see, all my personal tasks, apart from the kitchen information, are all recurring anyway. Most of them are. So that's the way it works. So there you go. I just wanted to give you a few ways that you can actually turn a list that looks like this into something a lot more focused. And it's something that I live by. I mean, it's one of my favorite things about Todoist these days is that I can actually group these things together so that I get to see where my tasks are, what's important, what's less important, so I can actually make sure that each day I'm doing the right things. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching this video. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.